Hi guys, this is Robert Red, the host of the Power Pro Wrestling Podcast, and I thought I would do another video for you since WrestleMania is approaching here in a couple of weeks. Now, in my previous two videos, I've talked about my WrestleMania 18 experience and WrestleMania 19 experience through 26, I should say. Hey, just to bring you up to speed in case you didn't watch those videos, WrestleMania 18 was the very first WrestleMania that I got to watch live. Now, I got to watch it at my cousin's house, which is across town from where I live. And he was nice enough to order the pay-per-view, and he invited a lot of our family over to watch it with him. And we kind of had, I guess it was a guy's night, because I think there was about 5 or 6 of us there to watch it. Fast forward to the video after that, I talked about my WrestleMania 19 through 26 experience, and it was my other cousin, which is cousins to my cousin, which gets confusing, I know. Oh, but he told me about this local wings place called Wings to Go, so... with that, I started with WrestleMania 19, going to Wings to Go. In terms of WrestleManias, I saw Vengeance 2002, I believe, was the first one I watched there that I stated in my previous video. Well, I'm going to kind of get you up to speed and bring you to WrestleMania 27. Now, like I said, starting at WrestleMania 19 is when I started watching WrestleManias pretty well at Wings to Go, and it was pretty well a tradition with my dad. Then when he passed, I started watching them with my podcast co-host, D, Cornbread, as he's known, and then we did that to 26. Now, when WrestleMania 27 was about to roll around, I just expected to go to Wings to Go, watch it there, watch it with the crowd and stuff like that. Well, I don't remember, maybe a month or a few weeks before, my other cousin, Andy, told me that he was going to be able to order it at his mom's house, my aunt, which is across town too, which is a little bit further from where my cousin stayed, where we watched WrestleMania 18, and he invited me over to watch WrestleMania 27 with him. So, and WrestleMania at this point was still on pay-per-view. So at WrestleMania 27, I went over to watch it at his house and kind of did wings. We kind of did like a Wings to Go experience and stuff like that. Sit there and watched it, and got to watch it live on pay-per-view there at the house. So, always very good experience. Now, it was not necessarily one of the better WrestleManias. It was actually Edge's last WrestleMania. I think it was his last match. He faced Alberto Del Rio, and you had The Miz, John Cena, which I love The Miz on that one. So, I liked the WrestleMania, but it was kind of lackluster. It kind of fell flat for me on WrestleMania 27. Fast forward to the next year, I knew he wasn't going to be ordering WrestleMania 28, so I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to go back to the Wings to Go. And then my other cousin, which, the Godfather, he's another one of my podcast guests, told me he was going to be getting WrestleMania 28, and he invited me over. Now, at this point, he was living at the town nearest to me, which is about 5-10 minutes drive, not too terribly far, and he invited me over to watch WrestleMania 28, and also my podcast guest, Cornbread, Ed, came with us, and I got to watch WrestleMania 28, and at this point, WrestleMania was still on pay-per-view, so I got to have a fun time. Got to watch it with a little bit bigger audience because it was just me, Cornbread, and my cousin at WrestleMania 27, whereas 28, he invited a little bit more people, and it was a more fun experience for 28. Now, 29, we did the same thing, although it was here at town, but it was here in town, but it was a little bit across town, but a different portion of town. I live in a city, but not a huge city, not like Memphis or Detroit or Dallas or anything like that, but the city does have different parts of it, so it's a decent-sized city, but it's not huge. So for 29, and we got to watch it across town at his place, so he hosted that WrestleMania. For WrestleMania 30, is when the launch of the network. It was the first WrestleMania shown on the network. Well, we got in touch with my other cousin, who I didn't really remember was a good wrestling fan or not. And from there, we went over to his place, and he had a bunch of us over for WrestleMania 30, which was a good experience. Cooked out, I believe, ate, and just had fun and enjoyed it. And it was a very good WrestleMania, obviously. You had the whole Daniel Bryan thing, which I enjoyed. Probably one of my favorite WrestleManias in a long time. You had the Bray Wyatt, John Cena, Undertaker's astounding loss, which that was an interesting experience. You could have cut the tension with a knife. It was you could have heard a pin drop when the Undertaker lost, and it was just a great experience. In WrestleMania 31, we came back and did the same thing, except we kind of had some technical difficulties. My other cousin, my original cousin who ordered WrestleMania 18, couldn't be at WrestleMania 31 with us, but it was still a fun time. And then the ending with Seth Rollins cashing in the main event was great. I even did a round table for my podcast discussing it, and I enjoyed WrestleMania 31 despite its lackluster build. But for WrestleMania 32, plans are inconclusive as of yet. I'll probably go back to my cousin's place to watch it again. Hopefully, decisions will probably be finalized here in the next couple weeks, since we are a few weeks from WrestleMania. But I just wanted to make a video and tell you kind of about my last few years WrestleMania experience. And do that. I'm going to tell you about my experience at AT&T Stadium that I had a few years ago. Oh, and one of my next videos I'll probably make next week. But until then, you can check me out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/MarkWonders85. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Robert Red Jr. You can follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/Robert Red Jr. As always, check out my YouTube channel, which you're watching this on right now. It's youtube.com/user/the Robert Red. Also, you can check out my podcast. It's soundcloud.com/ppwp. And we do my podcast this week will be at Kevin, and I'll leave a link below for his channel. Or you can also support my videos like this, and you can support my podcast on Patreon. It's patreon.com/ppwp. Also, a big thank you goes out to the Repost Network. Last podcast had over 100 plays. It's 106 at the time of this video recording, so thank you for them. And also, if you're in the Northeast Arkansas, catch Jeff at Sleep Sheep. Now, he may not be there the day of this recording, but you can contact him by on your cell phone dialing ** Jeff T, and you can reach him directly on his cell phone, and he will tell you where he's at, and you'll get a great deal on mattresses, anything for your bedroom. So you can check out Jeff from Sleep Sheep. But I want to thank you guys for checking out my video. Oh, and you can catch me next time on the Power of Pro Wrestling podcast.